Infer Control. You walk into a meeting and you start talking about your stuff. Or let's say you're on the other end, you're a buyer and there is a presentation being made to you and people start talking about their stuff. How do you process that information? And as a person who's presenting, how do I process what information to present to you? And in a pitch kind of a presentation, we call this term framing. And understanding framing is absolutely critical to the success of your pitch process. Now, what is framing? Each pitch, each presentation is a social interaction between two sides, you and the people that you're presenting to, and each side uses a frame in which they contextualize this information. For example, if I'm a buyer and you're presenting to me, I've already set a context in which I may or may not need your product, and that context is my reality, and within that context, I'm filtering each and every word that you're saying. What's making sense goes in, what doesn't make sense goes out. I've already calculated a certain price that I'm willing to pay you in context of my frame. And unless you break that frame of mine, you're not getting the deal. Each presentation being a social interaction, it's a collision of two frames present at the same time. The stronger frame will always win the deal. So it's very important that you understand what framing really is. What is this frame? Let's take an example that every one of us would be familiar with. Let's say you have a business meeting that you've scheduled at a restaurant. Now, we've all been there, maybe at a Starbucks, at a local cafeteria, wherever. You've set a business meeting at a restaurant and you're meeting this important guy out there. Now you enter the restaurant at lunch peak hour. What's happening out there? The place is busy, you're searching for an empty table, the restaurant is flooded with people, there are kids crying in a corner of one table, waiters are hustling by, some have food, there's coffee spilled somewhere on the floor, the guard is right behind you asking you whether you want a table or not. All of this activity is happening, but what is your mind searching for? In all this madness around you, your mind is searching for that one person that you're there to meet. And let's say you finally lay your eyes on that table where this guy is sitting, working on his phone, sending a message perhaps to you. And the moment you see that guy, what happens to the entire activity around you? It suddenly disappears because you found the frame that you were looking for. Now you go and you sit next to the guy, you start your conversation. This is a guy that you're meeting for a business deal. It's important to you. And the frame is set. And the moment the frame is set, the entire hustle bustle activity, whether they're kids crying, the coffee spilling, the food flying, someone coming to take your order or not, everything blocks out. That's what frames do. In a business context, frame gives you a sense of security. Let's say I've come to pitch you a deal worth $5 million. My frame is that I have enough value to pitch to you, and your frame is that you don't want to receive that value because you might end up writing a check. So frames collide, and essentially what do frames do? Frames provide you a sense of security, a kind of a viewpoint within which to view the world, and in a very social context, both sides having a frame in a pitch situation, and only one frame can win, and the dominant frame always wins, right? So in absolute essential terms, while we are making a pitch presentation or trying to get something on the other side to agree with our side, the important thing is to infer control so that you are able to establish the viewpoint by which to view you. And there are methods and techniques to do this, and in context of a business presentation, there are only about 5 frames that you need to master. And those 5 frames cover almost 99.999% of these situations. And the pitch plan program is designed to you to reveal those 5 frames and to develop strategies and counter strategies for when you do come across them. Because one thing is for certain, you come across them every single day.